Hi and welcome to this Blueberry Markets video update with me, 𝖢𝖥𝖣yi, Senior Market Analyst. In this video, we're going to take a look at the week ahead. We're going to go over the news this week as well as some charts to watch. So coming out this week, we're more focusing on that inflation type data this week. You can see that out of the US, we've got that core CPI and CPI month on month. CPI expected to fall month on month, down from 0.4% to 0.1%, and year on year down from 3.7 to 3.3%. Out of the UK as well, I think the Bank of England will welcome this type of data with a move potentially down from 6.7% to 4.7%. To kind of come on the other side of that though, you can see that retail sales month on month are expected to rise in the UK from minus 0.9% to 0.3%. You can also see that we have PPI data out of the US as well. Core PPI looking to stay the same. However, PPI month on month expected to fall from 0.5% to 0.1%. So how's that going to affect some of the markets this week? Well, going on to the strength meter, we can see that the euro is actually the strongest currency at this current moment in time, being in that +5 area. So is that going to be a one to watch going into this week? Are we going to see euro strength continue, or are we going to see that reversal and a move to the downside there? If we do, obviously euro dollar is going to be a big chart to watch going into this week. One currency that's performed pretty poorly last week was the Japanese yen, and euro yen could be one to watch for continuations of that bullish trend. Going on to the US dollar index then, some interesting developments obviously here. We had a very strong bearish candlestick the week prior to last week, but this last week we actually had a bullish close, kind of recovering that bearishness back above that 105.50 support, which were formed from these previous swing highs. Does that mean that the dollar strength is back? Doesn't mean that it is back, but obviously a close back above support does suggest that maybe buyers are still happy to be involved here in the US dollar, where it could go and target the 107 recent weekly highs or this 108 handle. If we were to see the dollar actually continue to weaken, I think I'd want to see a break back below 105.50, which would then lead for a move back to the 104.50, which were these highs back in May. So looking to see if that could potentially happen going into this week, but I think the 105.50 definitely a really important level. Going on to euro US dollar then, so actually we've been in this slight bullish trend here with the market making higher highs and higher lows. We've got this kind of 4-hour channel in play after a big downward move. Price is still finding rejections around about this 107.75. Price rejected here. Most recently, we tried to get into those highs, but buyers really struggled to trade above that level. It'll be interesting to see how the markets finds support down through here. These are obviously the H4 current lows. I think if price stays above that, then we could see another move towards this channel high and into sort of that 107.75 level. If we breach this level, it could suggest that we're moving back down towards the channel lows, potentially back into these previous swing lows. So it's going to be very important to see how price reacts to this level in here from that 4-hour and daily point of view. Going on to pound US dollar then, so we actually pointed out 1.24 a while ago in one of the live streams, and what we were discussing at that point was the fact that there was a very large volume level through this area, and we can see that price came into that, rejected it, we had a strong downward move, we've then come into the 123 handle, and now we're sitting above 122. So I think one or two things you could watch for going into next week. Obviously, is 123 going to be resistance again? If price comes back into that level, we could see sellers come back in. If we breach this 1.22 handle, where does that leave price to go? Well, we've got the 1.21s or even the 1.2050s towards these swing lows. Finally then, the dollar yen price. We haven't featured dollar yen in a while. We spoke about it at length when it came into the 150 handle, but we breached that level. We came towards the 152s, we came all the way back down again, and now we're back at that 152 level. I think that we could probably try and breach this daily high going into this week. If we see a rejection though of that area, it could mean that we're going to see some selling pressure coming back into the markets, and a move back to that 150 could happen again. Ultimately, if we do breach that 150 line, we do have this longer term trend line in play, where you can see obviously that we found support down through here and here as well. Is that sort of 148 level going to be targets for anyone trying to get on this potential move here? So that's what I'll be watching for going into this week. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll catch you in the next one.